On the news tonight, President Tinubu flags off movement of the Torch of Unity to begin awareness for the 22nd National Sports Festival holding in Abeokuta, Ogun State. The commencement of hearing on the civil matter filed by suspended Senator Nta Ijebu Ode against the Senate has been stalled against judge presiding over the case, and he withdrew from the case. Governor Adeleke intervenes in Ifon and Lobi communal disputes. Good evening and welcome to Nta Ijebu Ode News at 7. My name is Mercy Ezeshi and here are the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has flagged off the movement of the Torch of Unity to begin awareness creation for the 22nd National Sports Festival holding in Ogun State capital, Abeokuta, in May this year. At the event, President Tinubu called on public and private sector to actively contribute to Nigerian sports development, particularly in infrastructure, expansion, talent identification, athlete nurturing, and sponsorship of sporting events. State House correspondent Musbao Dan Wahab reports. Nigeria's First Lady appealed to the traditional institutions across the country to join the campaign for nation building. She made the appeal at a meeting with the Traditional Council in Delta State to kickstart her two-day working visit to the state. While highlighting the focus of the present administration in health, she called on the traditional rulers to lend their support in pushing health advocacy among the people.
And it's called the triple elimination: HIV, AIDS, syphilis, and hepatitis B. Unfortunately, it's the younger population that, especially mother-to-child transmission, is so high. And I was wondering, why are we doing all this work and struggling for our children to inherit a legacy? If they are not healthy, how are they going to even be custodians of that? So I believe that this is the time for us to revive again and introduce that, so that at least they would not be careless. So what we want you to do is to make sure that you help us to tell your people that, HIV/AIDS treatment and all that is free. And because nowadays some people, their viral load, what we wanted to do is to, if they are on their antiretroviral drugs, their viral load can be lowered so that, they can live very healthy lives.
Your Excellency, we are proud of you, that you are a virtuous woman who stood by your husband. We are assuring you that come 2027, we debtors will vote for Mr. President.
First Lady, Governor, Chairman of Traditional Council. The First Lady later made a formal presentation of 10,000 protective gears to midwife and other frontline healthcare workers in South-South geopolitical zone, marking the third in the ongoing series of RHI interventions in health sector. The commencement of hearing before the Federal High Court, Abuja, on the civil matter filed by suspended Senator Nta Ijebu Ode against the Senate has been stalled. The development is due to the recusal of the presiding judge, Justice Obiora Egwuatu, over the allegations of bias. Olabode Arewa reports.
At one of the plenary sessions of the Nigerian Senate, held in February this year, Senator Nta Ijebu Ode, representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, was alleged to have acted against the rules of the Senate. A matter was referred to the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions. Senator Nta Ijebu Ode quickly approached the Federal High Court Abuja and obtained an interim order restraining that committee from probing her until the substantive matter is concluded. With proceedings set to continue this Tuesday on the issue of service of court processes on the parties, Justice Obiora Egwuatu read out a short ruling informing parties that he had stepped aside from handling the case. The court cited allegations of bias said to have been leveled by the third respondent in the matter. The counsel in the suit declined to comment on the matter since it is still sub judice. Meanwhile, Justice Iguatu has remitted the case to the Chief Judge for reassignment to another judge. In another development, the interlocutory appeal filed by the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, challenging the jurisdiction of the Federal Court to entertain the suit has been adjourned to 7th April 2025. The three-man panel of justices at the commencement of the hearing of the appeal in Abuja. Olabodarawa, NTA News.
The drive of the federal government to create more employment opportunities for unskilled and unemployed has gained more momentum with the resettlement of thousands of beneficiaries of the Renewed Hope Employment Initiative with self-loan facilities and starter parks across the country. Minister of State, Labour and Employment Nkiruka Onyejocha described the initiative as major pillars in economic rejuvenation of the current administration. Joseph Hudson reports.
These are the beneficiaries of the Renew Hope Employment Initiative from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. They are among the more than 5,000 across the country that will be presented with starter packs and loan facilities.
Therefore, to translate these skills into sustainable and decent livelihoods, beneficiaries must be supported with necessary tools, equipment, and financial resources to kickstart their ventures. This is why today's resettlement exercise is a crucial milestone in our collective journey toward economic empowerment.
The scheme was flagged off in December 2023 with no less than 33,000 youth, women, and persons with disabilities undergoing 3 months of training in entrepreneurship and business management, agricultural skills, and activities in public works.
This administration has prioritized job creation and economic empowerment as fundamental pillars of the Renew Hope agenda.
I've learned much. But even when you give me solar panel, I can mount it in a good way.
We've learned, especially record keeping, how that we need to put our records properly. Then we've also learned networking.
We are hoping that we can settle for material we can be able to get for other 9,000 beneficiaries from Ministry of Humanitarian. And the others we've written to the Bank of Industry and the Bank of Agriculture, our other financial institutions, where we are going to make this list available to the banks.
The second phase of the exercise, NDE says, will commence immediately as it targets to impact over 90,000 in 3 years. In Abuja, Joseph Hudson, NTA News.
We'll be going on a break. Please stay tuned.
How far, Niger? Welcome to the Glow Cafe app. Come in. Because it's time for an upgrade. Your own personal Glow Cafe app open 24/7. Welcome to bigger, better, smarter. Welcome to total control of your data, your airtime. Mom, I'll call you back. How you buy? I'll send you data. How you share and how you recharge. Movies, gaming, music, all in one place. Welcome to more value. Download the upgraded Glow Cafe app and get more data. Get 100% recharge bonus and get a massive 100 gigabytes data bonus when you register. Want it all? Download all this into this.
Glow Unlimited.
Welcome back from the break. Now the news continues. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has directed the immediate distribution of emergency food supplies and relief materials to those affected by the recent communal land dispute in parts of the state. The governor made this announcement after inspecting the destruction in Ifo, Lobu, and Eru-Osun, where the crisis left homes razed and lives disrupted. Femi Afaragun reports.
Empty streets, ruins and devastation result of the aftermath boundary dispute among three communities of Ifo, Osun and Ilobu in Osun State. Governor Ademola Adeleke, alongside security chiefs, inspected the large scale of destruction.
I'm not going to take any nonsense anymore because it's getting too much. My people are dying, burning houses. It is not acceptable. Giving a directive that all the culprits will be brought to book and be arrested.
The people have been arrested with arms. We will not relent on our hours to ensure that this peace is achieved within a short, limited time.
With the 24-hour curfew still in place, the governor has ordered distribution of food and relief materials to the displaced. Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
The federal government and development partners are taking steps to end child detention in Nigeria. A new report has uncovered alarming numbers of minors in custody, prompting an inter-ministerial meeting led by the Minister of Interior. Victor Azu reports that key stakeholders, including UNICEF, are calling for urgent reforms.
For many children in Nigeria, childhood is spent behind bars, but change may be on the way. At this high-level meeting, government officials led by the Minister of Interior and development partners confront the issue. Findings from an investigative panel reveal troubling figures, sparking calls for immediate action.
133,906 children and young adults were in custody in Nigeria between 2018 and 2022.
Controller General of Corrections, Sylvester Nwakuche, admitted systemic flaws but pledged to act. UNICEF's country representative, Christian Munduate, stressed that keeping children out of detention is not just policy, it's a child rights issue.
I want to identify on behalf of the Nigerian Correctional Service for whatever decision that is right and favorable that we're going to take in the area of policy adjustment.
Detention is a highly harmful practice to children. It's costly, it's ineffective in terms of prevention of crime.
The Minister of Interior reaffirmed the government's commitment, promising cross-ministerial collaboration to drive reforms.
The one other thing that has worked and will work in the implementation of this report is the cross-ministerial, inter-ministerial collaboration. We are all working together as a team.
The conversation has begun. Now the real challenge is turning words into action. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Federal government is taking steps to revamp the country's education sector. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, said he requires all partners to align their projects and programs with Nigeria's national priorities. During a meeting with representatives from the Japan International Cooperation Agency, the minister stressed the importance of collaborative efforts to ensure investments yield commensurate results. JICA Chief's Representative Yuzuru Susumi promised to support Nigeria's education sector in areas of curriculum development, ICT integration, and training of teachers. Meanwhile, the minister also met with the Nigerian Economic Summit Group to discuss strategies for improving the education sector, highlighting Nigeria's demographic advantage as a leverage, noting that the country has a unique opportunity to drive growth through education. Dr. Tayo Aduloju, Chief Executive of the NESTO, outlined that NESTO is working on a summit to address policy implementation, basic education, and addressing regional disparities in education through tailored solutions. The Federal Ministry of Education commended the partners for partnering Nigeria in transforming the sector.
Capacity of the students, the capacity of teachers to teach mathematics and science, because we think it's quite important to build the country based on those fundamental knowledge and studies.
There's something to also build smart. Can we now, just like we can do it together, so you know they do 3 states, women can add it to their budget to identify 3 schools and work with this. In each state, we have effective schools in each of those 3 states, in each of our states of federation.
For you today on Nta Ijebu Ode News at 7. Thank you for joining us today. Have a great night.
Bro, I tell you, this match 3-0. Okay. If I win you, something will come out.
Don't play with me. Fast ball. Ah. You know what? You go shot.
Bro.
Now we got this match.
Keep the banter going with Glow Borrow Me Credit or Data. Dial *303# to borrow airtime or data and pay later.
Is it ready?
Only one thing I didn't. Okay.
Power your relentless ambition with ultra-high-speed data. Glow Unlimited.